Hi, thanks for joining me. My name is Elizabeth Cohan. I'm a psychiatric social worker at an HMO in Annapolis and also a school social worker at an elementary school in Annapolis, Maryland. Today, we are going to talk about self care, one of my favorite subjects. We're going to talk about why it's important, talk about what it is, and definitely some simple ways to have a fresh approach to starting a new routine. It is definitely possible for everyone, no matter where you think you are in your own routine currently. So let's get started. So it's important to think about what self care actually is. And this is something that I talk about ad nauseum with patients, is to really understand the mind body connection. The World Health Organization actually defines self care as the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a healthcare provider. And so, what that means is we have to do the work by ourselves or learn to so that we have more of an optimal chance to get through hardships, whether it's medical, physical, emotional, or social. And self care, if it's done deliberately, gives us the best possible chance for things to be navigated well. And so I want you guys to walk away with a few things. And so here's some key takeaways that I think are really important in order to get started and to be very attentive in terms of self-care and making it a priority. It quite simply, why is it important? It's so important because it helps us really navigate ourselves in a holistic perspective, in terms of mental health, emotional and physical health, in terms of relationships. And without deliberate and intentional self care, we cannot navigate hard things. I want us to also think about being curious and creative and a little bit ambitious about starting something. It doesn't have to be grand, it can be simple. And the other thing is to think about small goals, small, meaningful goals. The most important thing is for it to be pretty authentic to you. I don't want anyone going to get a membership to a CrossFit if it's really not in your nature, to be in that kind of environment. And so I think simple is always better. So, oftentimes in practice, I'm getting a ton of questions after the therapeutic process has reached a point where we got to start making some goals. And so, people often ask me, like, how do I even start? What I'm ambivalent about, or what should I do? And I always want to say, start where you are. You don't need to really recreate the wheel. And the other thing is that you don't want to do something that doesn't fit. I think we need to be really moving towards sustainability, sometimes accountability, but something that's actually feasible. And so, gentle movement, when in doubt, walk is one of the greatest things in the world, in terms of getting your body to register that it's important to move and not just sit there. And I always say sedentary mind, sedentary body, or the reverse, sedentary body, sedentary mind. And that is true to form with anxiety disorders and depression. Both have aspects of ruminating, intrusive thoughts, those kinds of things. And we really need to sort of dispel the idea that just cognitive behavioral therapy can do the job in terms of reframing our thoughts. It's so important to move the body and to understand that they are connected, and that our bodies need to serve us so that we could have a better chance at improving mental health and our capacity, to have improved mindset, mindfulness, sustainable action, and positive behaviors. to help us live healthfully. These are a few of my favorite stops on the interwebs. Mind Body Green, Forks Over Knives, um, Healthline, yoga with Adriene for sure. If you feel like you want to get started and you feel like you're somewhat of a beginner or intermediate, I think she is a great foundation. You don't have to spend a lot of money. She's free on YouTube, and she talks in a very mindful way, almost in a comforting, therapeutic way. And she also gives opportunities to change what you see. In other words, you don't have to do a pose or an exercise session the way that she does. She always gives you an opportunity to do it a little bit differently, a little bit more gently. And she's been around a long time. Very down to earth, and so I think she's a great resource. And so, just in closing, I just wanted to say along the way, or when you get to a certain point where you're starting to lose steam, or you're just getting started and you're frustrated, or you're feeling a little bit directionless in terms of where your orientation is because you got something going on in your life, have a little self compassion. There is no need to make large proclamations when it comes to self care. If it's deliberate, cumulative, and you're taking gentle steps for sustainable living, um, then you have to give yourself a wide berth to get adjusted. We can't always get up every day and start something completely new if it's not in our nature and we're stressed out. So I say there's always tomorrow. If you do a little bit something increasing your water or eating more fruits and veggies or moving a little bit, you can at least go to bed at night thinking, I did at least that for myself. And that's what this is about. This is not about completely changing your look or completely overhauling your life. It's just about doing some gentle movement in a mindful way that helps you approach your life with a little bit more openness and a little bit more inspiration to be engaged in the present moment versus the past or something that completely creates stress and that feeling of being overwhelmed. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.